And hello, everyone. Welcome to another power scanning session. It is December 7th, almost the second advent. Wow, time flies. 2024. Today, once again, we are trying to find the best setups for the week ahead. I am greeting you today from our beautiful office here in downtown Montreal. And of course, my name is Daniel Sinnick. I will be your host today. And before we get started, let me ask you a question, guys. Where are you calling in from? Who do we have today in the chat? Please put your location into the Q&A box of your Zoom window. So I see Gerd from Germany. Hi, Gerd. Yes, nice to see you again. He said hello again because I just had a webinar with our German friends from CapTrader at 8 a.m. this morning. And I guess Gerd was there as well. Aubrey from Cyprus. Hey, Aubrey. How are you doing? Always sunny in Cyprus. Chris from Northern California. Hey, Chris. Wow. Must be early there for you. 9 a.m. Hey, Chris. Who else do we have? Please don't be shy. Mosh says Jupiter. Yes. Patrick from Massachusetts. Hey, Patrick, how's it going? AI from Knoxville, Tennessee. I think that's a new one. Edda from Hamburg. Hi, Hamburg. Hey, hi, Edda. As mentioned before, this is almost where I'm from. I'm from Rostock originally. All right, awesome, guys. Thanks for sharing your location. And for those of you who are perhaps joining us for the very first time, a quick introduction. My name is Daniel Sinning. I'm the guy here on the left-hand side, and we are tradingindicators.com. So we've been out there for almost 10 years, and over the course of the 10 years, we have built almost 1,000 trading indicators for clients all over the world. It's been quite an adventure, a very rewarding journey for us, and a very humbling journey as well. And together with Homa, in fact, we have created trading indicators. Homa is here in the middle. She's also on the chat today. And a couple of years later, Nicholas came also on board as our lead developer. Almost everything and what we do is based on what's called technical analysis, which is basically a pattern analysis of your price chart. And today's webinar will be no different. We're going to use technical analysis to analyze our charts, to scan for setups, and to try to find interesting symbols to trade for the week ahead. We believe that trading should be simple and is simple, but you need to know what to look for. You need to use the right tools, and you need to have the right indicators. And both of these things will be used today in today's session to find these setups of interest. All right. One more thing, please keep in mind that trading does contain substantial risk and therefore is not suited for every investor. If you trade, make sure to only use risk capital, which is money that you actually can afford to lose. When it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance, keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance, and any trade ideas and strategies discussed in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right, so with this out of the way, man, what a week it has been for us here at Trading Indicators. If you have missed it, we have released the indicator that changes everything when was it? On Wednesday in our Tech Talk webinar. The recording is now available, where we introduced our brand new Volume IQ indicator. If you have missed it, you can now watch the recording at tradingindicators.com/volume. So watch the replay if you're interested of what this indicator can do. This has been 12 months in development and in research, finally released. So we're super excited about this. Tradingindicators.com/volume to see the replay of this webinar. Also, I will be back already on Monday at the MetaStock webinar. So at 2 p.m. I will come on, but the conference already starts at 10 a.m. Participation is completely free. And if you want to register to save your seat, simply go to tradingindicators.com/metastock. And Nicholas or Homa, please put these links, if you can, into the chat box so that everybody can just simply click on it. So tradingindicators.com/metastock to register for our for the MetaStock webinar on Monday, starting at 10 a.m. I will be on at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And for the other link, tradingindicators.com/volume to watch the replay of our Volume IQ webinar, about the indicator that changed at least our trading quite a bit. All right. So, but enough announcements. Let me explain to you what you can expect from today's session. So, first of all, we are going to scan for interesting setups for the week ahead. And ideally, we're going to do this scan interactively, meaning, I will do something on the screen and you guys can follow along on your screen. And for this, it would be beneficial if you have access to the same dashboard that I will be using, the Liquidity View dashboard. If you don't have it yet, I know many of you guys have the dashboard, but if you don't have it yet, you can get a full week free trial of the dashboard. Simply go to tradingindicators.com/view to register for this free trial. And best of all, you will get instant access. So even if you decide right now in this second, hey, I'd like to try it out, no problem. Simply go here, put your email address, select an option, which monthly or yearly plan you would be interested in. There's no contract. You can cancel before this week runs out, and then there will be no charge, of course. And you will get access instantaneously. So think about it. It would be nice if you guys could follow along. And of course, if you decide to stay on board after the 1 week trial, we have interesting monthly and yearly option. But keep in mind, there's no contract, so no obligations whatsoever. And this is a true trial. You will not be charged today. All right. And one last thing, we also do have an ebook, which you can download, which details the 3 main setups that we will be discussing in today's webinar, which is the bounce setup, the zone break setup, and the zone break retrace setup. So get this ebook completely for free simply by going to tradingindicators.com/power-of-3. And Niklas or Homer, please also put this link into the Q&A box. All right. Now, we love our dashboard and we love it so much that we are constantly improving it. And thanks to your feedback, guys, the feedback that we get after these sessions or throughout the week, we have already made quite a few improvements to our dashboard. For example, we added new scans to it, new filter to it, new symbols. We now have the ability to add trade notes to symbols. You can take screenshots to annotate your notes. We have an indication of the setup duration. And as of, I would say, Tuesday last week, so only a few days old, we have implemented also a new feature for the live mode. I'm going to showcase this to you in a second. So more symbols are now supported by our live mode feature. And we have also added support for the German language. And this was requested, of course, by German-speaking people. And as I mentioned before, I just came off a webinar with CapTrader. CapTrader is a brokerage in Germany this morning at 8 a.m., where I presented this dashboard to those people. All right, so this is new. And having this said, guys, if you have any feedback, don't be shy. Please put your suggestions into the Q&A box, and I'd be happy to, review all of these, and our team will take those away. And perhaps you're going to find your suggestions as a new feature in an upcoming version of this dashboard. All right, so enough talking. Let's get practical. And we're going to start off today with a market review using our dashboard. So I'm going to switch over to the dashboard. In fact, I'm also going to hide my video for faster performance. There we go. All right, so over to the dashboard. There we go. Perfect. So view.tradingindicators.com is the URL for the dashboard. And once you load it up, it looks like this. Right off the bat, you can see the scanner on the left-hand side and your charting on the right-hand side. Now, what are these 2 new features which I just mentioned? Well, feature number 1 is live mode. Now, live mode, we had it before, and it worked for many symbols, but not for all. This has changed now. Now, with the latest update, live mode is available for almost every single symbol, including the German ones, which didn't work before, in our dashboard. And what live mode does, it allows you to, of course, if the market is open, to see some live streaming data about the symbol of interest. By default, the IQ chart here is enabled, which means it's an end of day chart. You can see it here. And all indicators are displayed on this chart. And the reason why that is because all our scans are performed based on end of day basis. Yeah. So we are scanning around 5,000 symbols at the end of each trading day. Our cloud server is getting to work and it's doing the analysis of all these almost 5,000 symbols. And soon there's going to be 8,000. That's in the works. It does the analysis. It currently takes about 3 hours of cloud processing time to get all these things pre-calculated. And around 7 p.m. Eastern time, this process is completed and all these new setups based on the latest data of the trading data just finished are then available in our scanner. So, and soon we're making some improvements that are going to be 8,000 symbols supported. Now, this is end of day, but sometimes, your end of day chart is perhaps doesn't give you the full story. Of course, it's a daily bars, it's a bit coarse grained. This is why we have live mode here. So live mode basically substitutes this chart here, this IQ chart, with an embedded trading view chart. So let me click on it. So now this embedded trading view chart is loaded. Our indicators are not there anymore. This is not possible in this live mode, but you have the option to see streaming data. Of course, the market is closed right now, but streaming data of the instrument at hand. And you can go to other timeframes. You can go to intraday timeframes to perhaps do some extra analysis to fine-tune your entries. And this live mode feature is now available for almost every single symbol in our scanner. This was not the case before. It is now the case. So big improvement there. And of course, the second improvement that we have was support for German language. You can use this button here on the top right corner and switch it to German. And then everything is in German. Sometimes it's a bit crooked. Our developers, actually, all our team does not speak German except for me. And I did not have proper time yet to review everything, but it should be good enough. You will definitely get the idea. All right, but I'm going to go back to English, of course, for the rest of this webinar. Okay, so that's new, and we are super excited about this, but let's start now with the market review. And let me open up the SPY. All right, so the SPY, the Spider ETF for the S&P 500s. And what do we see here? I mean, I've seen many trends in my days. I don't want to become nostalgic, but this is one strong uptrend. Oh boy. And let me just disable real quick our liquidity IQ indicator. It is a very clear-cut uptrend. And remember what happened a couple of weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago, we had this little, we had the election, everything bounced up, and then price retraced back to this level here. So this was just right after the election here, this price point. So it went all the way down to 584 from previously around 600. All right, so 15 points of a retracement. And I've received a few emails and comments. Hey, Daniel, what do you think? Is this going to be a trend reversal? And I said, first of all, I said, I can't predict the future. That's impossible. But from a technical point of view, from a technical analysis point of view, no, I don't think so. This is nothing more than just a healthy pullback. Look at what we see here. There are no signs of a reversal. Every trend has pullbacks. That's completely healthy and normal. And this was just the same thing. And in fact, it was not even a deep pullback. If we look at our trend radar indicator down here, which showcases what is the long-term trend all the way at the bottom, the medium-term trends in the middle, and the short-term trends, what are they doing? Well, I can clearly see that the long-term trend and even the second longest term trend, and the third one, they are still completely green. And we only had a pullback of level 2. Wow, this is not much. This is just almost a shallow pullback. So no, from a technical analysis point of view, this definitely was not any sign of trend reversal. It's just a regular pullback within an uptrend. However, having this said, this could have been a prime opportunity to re-enter into this long trade, into this trend trade. Because you don't want to enter up here. You don't want to enter right now where the market is. That's overextended. After a pullback, that's when you want to buy. You want to buy the dips. Okay, and as long as this trend is healthy and as strong as it is right now, if you had done this, if you had bought the dips, you would not have been wrong at all since many, many trading days. All right, so that's the spider. Of course, we are at historical highs now. Let's go to the QQQs, the Nasdaq ETF. There we go. All right, and also here, wow, Friday, strong day, all-time highs. We powered through. And once again, very similar story. Same moment in time. This was the election here. We powered up, big jump up on, I believe it was the election. Let me just quickly see if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so November 5th was the election. Jumped up, retraced down, and once again, that was just a healthy pullback. In this case, we went down 3 levels. But nonetheless, that's, just a healthy pullback. Even 4 levels down. It's just a healthy pullback. Nothing has changed in the Nasdaq. Look at even this deep correction here. Trend radar only shows a level 4 pullback. The long-term trend, this last green line here, is still completely green. And we have recovered from every single pullback so far in recent history. And of course, Friday, storming through the levels and making a new historical high in QQQ. So exciting for this. But let's look at gold to change it up. GLD. All right, so what do we have in gold? Also an ETF, and gold, it's a bit different because gold was very strong, almost up until the election happened, and then it experienced a deeper pullback. Yeah, this was not just a shallow one. Look at this biggish area here. That is a substantial pullback, and gold has been struggling as of late to recover from this deep cut into the below this first MA rush line here, almost to the second one. Trend radar is still showing that the long-term trend, of course, is completely intact. And, by the way, guys, the trend radar indicator, even though it shows you the long-term trend by means of this last row here, its look back is only about, I would say, 100 bars. That's what it considers for these rows to be calculated, maybe 150 bars. If you want to really see a long look back for trend direction, you would consider our MA rush indicator. And MA rush, if I just scroll back here, shows us that gold has been bullish for 438 trading days. So if I scroll back here, then yes, we went bullish right here on March 14, 2023. And since then, we have not looked back in gold. A couple of corrections along the way. Yeah, and now once again, we are experiencing another correction. So we'll see what's going to happen. This is definitely a deeper pullback, but nonetheless, it can be an interesting opportunity to re-enter into this long trade. Let me quickly see what is Liquidity IQ doing. Yeah, well, we can clearly see we are trading in between support and resistance here. And this is our classic magnet zone setup. You can see it here, magnet zone, since the last 2 bars. A magnet zone is a setup where we are somewhat, it's not precise, but somewhat in the middle between support and resistance. And, these zones oftentimes have what we call magnetic properties. They will be, or they might be revisited by price in the near future. The question now is, however, which zone will be revisited first? Which is more likely to be revisited? And it seems to me, since we are in an uptrend, that, the natural bet could be that, hey, we're going to revisit resistance up here. This definitely is the outlook. So perhaps an interesting idea to place a long trade in gold in the anticipation that price is going to continue at the minimum to this resistance zone up here. Then we may see another bounce from it. All right, and one more symbol. Let's look at oil. German. All right, United States Oil Fund, USO. And I don't know. If this is not a sideways market, I don't know what is. So oil has been range bound between at least this ETF here and also the crude oil futures since when is that? So this whole thing started I believe almost like here around these levels here. So at least for a year, oil has been range bound. And I said this morning in my other webinar. It has been very, in quotes, respectful of our liquidity IQ levels. Look how beautifully price has bounced off our resistance and support level like magic. And once again, now we are trading near this support level here. And if history repeats itself, I would not be surprised if we see another bounce to the upside at the minimum towards this resistance zone around 75 here. Who knows? So this is all super range bound. And, people say once a decision is made in which direction all will develop, either to the downside if we break the range to the downside or perhaps to the upside, then a big follow through can happen afterwards. All right. Okay, so this is our market review. But you know what? Let me go back to my slides. And there's one thing I forgot to mention, guys. By the way, if you have any questions, don't be shy. Please put them into the Q&A box of your Zoom window. And Nicholas and Homer are going to look out for these questions and bring them to my attention as they see fit.
Hi, Daniel. We actually have a couple questions here.
Oh, we do? Okay, sounds good.
So from Manuel, he wants to know, does the dashboard do Forex?
Yes, it does. Yeah, let me quickly go back. So we do have, just go back to the original view. We do have this column here called asset class. And as you can see, these are the asset classes that we are tracking. Stocks, ETFs, we have seen this so far. But we also track cryptos, futures, Forex, and indices. And if you go to FX here, Forex, you can see we are currently tracking 34 FX pairs. So let me just go to one of my favorite ones. 1 second. Where is my Swiss pair? Swiss GPY. Yep. You're going to see a very strong uptrend. So this one has been an uptrend for 1,063 trading days. A unique combination of the Swiss franc getting stronger and the yen getting weaker. And in combination, this has led to the fact that this FX pair, and it doesn't seem right now like this case, but it has been bullish for years now. So a huge uptrend in that symbol. Now we're trading all the way up here. We are consolidating a little bit from this huge move up. It's a bit range bound right now, but I would not be surprised to see this market move to continue, especially since we're just bouncing off this support level here. So yes, this is supported. And of course, live mode is also supported for these FX pairs.
And then we have a couple questions from Carlo and Lisa. They kind of tie in. They wanted to know, well, Lisa wanted to know, can this be used intraday? And Carlo wanted to know, if you go onto the 4-hour chart, are the zones going to change?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So no, not really. So you can go to these lower time frames in live mode, but because of restrictions of what can be displayed on these live charts, that's a restriction that comes in from TradingView. In fact, we cannot display our indicators on these intraday timeframes. So everything you see here in the end of day scanner is based on the daily time frame, and these zones will not change. The IQ chart here will be the daily chart. You have the option to go to the weekly or the monthly, but typically this is not what we do. So they will change if you switch from weekly to monthly, but not if you go to intraday. In fact, that's not even possible.
Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, and there's one more thing I wanted to say before we actually look at our setups. One quick thing. Let me go to crypto. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Everybody seen Bitcoin as of late? So Bitcoin made, of course, I'll be surprised if you have not heard about it, but it made a highest high, an historical high. It it broke above 100,000, even went almost, actually completely to 104,000, I believe. Yeah, exactly to 104,000 to the dot. Really? Look at this one here. This bar, at least on this Bitcoin pricing chart, Bitcoin pricing is a bit different depending on which crypto broker you are using. On this one here, it went exactly to 104,000. Look at this one here. Wow, to the dot. Interesting. Okay, but since then, we had a huge retracement. If I go to the live chart here, in fact, you should be seeing price updating here because Bitcoin, of course, trades 24/7. So you may see some price update. That's truly a live chart here with real-time data. You can see it here. The market is open. And if we go, let's say, to our 50-minute time frame and just zoom in, we can see, yes, we went all the way up here to this level, actually before that, to almost 104,000. As mentioned, depending on which broker you have, prices might be slightly different. But you can see that how much of a retracement we had once we hit this historical high, all the way down to almost 92,000. Kudos for those who stayed in those trades all the way throughout, even after this big retracement. Now we're back to around 100,000 for Bitcoin. Quite a journey when it comes to Bitcoin. All right. And Casey, yes, I will explain trends align. Give me a second for that. All right. But now let me go back to our slides and introduce the 3 setups, in fact, 4 setups that we will be scanning for today. And all of these setups are considered high reward and low risk. So what we can gain from such a trade outweighs the risk on the table, oftentimes by a multiple. All these setups typically do require tight stop loss. And this is just part of the game. We have a tight stop loss. We might, and of course we will at times be stopped out. There is no way around that. In fact, there's no trading strategy which will guarantee a winner. That's impossible. Our trading strategies are no exception from this. But in this case, we will use a very tight stop loss. So being stopped out is a natural part of the game. And you just need to understand that because, it's part of the game and it's natural. And you need to have the, the mindset that this is, possible. All right. So, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at one setup at a time. Based on what we see and find, we are going to create a hot list, and then we're going to do a detailed analysis of our hot list and annotate things also with our trade notes feature in the dashboard. All right. So what are these 3 setups? Well, we already know, and if you are joining us or have joined us for a couple of weeks now, we know our 3 most popular setups are bounce, zone break, and zone break retrace, all of which high reward and low risk right in this area here. But we're going to start off with our famous and brand new healthy pullback setup, as suggested by our trend radar indicator and supported additionally by AmiRush. So what is a healthy pullback? Well, as the name suggests, first of all, we need to have a trending stock. Now, something needs to be trending, either trending up or trending downwards. And as we know, even though this line is very straight, no trend goes up in a straight line. There are always interruptions and pullbacks along the way. That's completely normal. And trend trading seems to be, or at least the intuition tells us, hey, it's a very straightforward way of trading. I agree. It's very intuitive. It just makes more sense to the human mind oftentimes because the trend is your friend. And, people say a trending stock is more likely to continue trending rather than reversing. That's just completely part of the game. It's normal. But there are good times and there are bad times to enter into a trend trade. So for example, as you can see here, at this point here, perhaps it would not be such a good time to enter into this trend trade because next thing you know, you lost, 10% of value. Now, what you want to do, and this is where the timing component comes in, you want to patiently wait for these pullback to happen. And if Trend Radar, for example, confirms that, hey, this is just a healthy pullback, the long-term trend is intact, we just pulled back within this long-term trend, then this can be a prime opportunity to re-enter into this trend trade. You're going to get a much better price and you will have much less risk on the table because your stop loss is going to be tighter. This is what we're looking for. All right, so let's try to find some stocks which currently have a beautiful, healthy pullback setup. So back to my chart here, and I'm going to clear out all our filters. So we're back to status quo at 4,922 symbols. All right, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my pullback column here. So if you don't see this pullback column in your scanner, go to your column configurator, which is this icon here, click on it, and make sure that pullback, this one down here, is selected. If it's not selected, this column will disappear. If it is selected, the column will be there. All right, so it's selected now. And what we're going to do is we're going to just a little test run. Let me find some, let's say, level 2 pullbacks. All right. And this is a bullish pullback. That's why it's green. So we have these pullbacks for the bullish side and for the bearish side. So let's start with the bullish one. So level 2. What does it mean? Well, let's click on the first one here, Alamo Group. And what we can see here is that trend radar, you can see it down here. The first 2 levels of trend radar that's indicated down here are red, whereas everything else below is green. That's a level 2 pullback. What is a level 3 pullback? Let me select it. It's, for example, this one here. Whatever the stock is, CVR, whatever, this stock here. 3 levels, the first 3 levels of trend radar are red. That's a level 3 pullback, and the rest are green. And of course, then we also have level 4. This one here, for example. The first 4 rows are reddish, and the last one is green. So this is how you can see the degrees of pullbacks that we can have. And of course, the same thing also exists for the bearish case. So let's say a level 2 pullback. We talked about Forex. We have it here. So the Euro USD is in an uptrend. That's trending down, but recently, at least just a little bit, we had a bit of a pullback to the upside. Yeah, the first rows here are green and the rest are red. Now, this is how it works. All right, but let's go back to our bullish case, because today, and just like most trading sessions here on the weekend, we are focusing on swing trades. And typically we trade stocks or ETFs. So let's focus on those as well. Okay, since stocks and ETFs, the bias tends to be that they are going up more than they're going down. If you just do a quick search, for example, if you look for stocks which are currently bullish compared to the ones which are currently bearish, we can see that there will be more bullish symbols in our scanner than bearish ones. So 2,800 symbols are bullish out of our 4,922. That's more than half. That's like 60% or 58% or whatever that number may be. So, the bias is to the upside. And this is why I like to trade with the bias, not against it. Therefore, we're going to focus on bullish setups for today. Also, of course, the overall market is so bullish. Why not go with it rather than going against it? All right, so back to our pullbacks. I'm going to clean up the filter here, and I'm going to select, let's say, a level 4 pullback, the deepest pullback. It's a very deep pullback. Yeah, 4 levels down. All right, this is good. But you know what? I want to add one more criteria to this. I want to add the criteria that at the same time, the long-term trend, as mentioned, trend radar looks back, maybe 50, 100 bars, but the overall long-term trend of this symbol should also be bullish. So if you look at this one here, for example, this is more like a bearish stock. Yeah, it's bearish, it's going down. So this may as well, or might as well go even further down. So this pullback scenario here, even though, it's been going up for a little bit as of late, may not last forever. I want to trade with the overarching long-term trend. So how can I do this? Well, I'm going to go here to our MA Rush column, and I will select another filter, the bullish filter. Once done, I now see all the stocks which are currently having a level 4 pullback and which are bullish. And I did one more thing. I sorted by duration. And we can see it here that the number 1 stock, which currently is experiencing a level 4 pullback, is this one here, a German one. We can see here, yes, look at this one. It's been trending up, but lately a level 4 pullback all the way down here to almost to the second line of MA Rush. Let me just hide Liquidity IQ for a second. This could be an interesting opportunity to enter long this particular symbol. Or this one here, March and McLennan. Same story. Beautiful. Look at this setup here. A very healthy uptrend. Yeah, if you draw the trend line, they're almost parallel. Look at this. Yeah, you're connecting the highs and the lows, or the swing highs and the lows. And if this is almost parallel, that's a beautiful sign. And look where we are right now, near the lower end of this trend channel. A great opportunity to potentially enter into this long trade. And this would have worked out beautifully had we done this in the past. So I'm going to add this one to our watch list right now as an interesting candidate because I think I really like the setup here. All right, so for this, I'm going to create a new watch list. And you can do this via this drop down here. You select create. And every week we're doing this webinar, we are creating a new watch list. You can see it here. All our setups are here from the past. So create setups, colon, 2024, 12, and 07. Wow, time flies. Create. All right, the watch list is created. I'm going to now add this symbol to our watch list. Perfect. Done. We're going to revisit this one a bit later on today. And perhaps a few more. The Ensign Group, yeah, also a nice pullback here. To me, I mean, this is also an interesting one. And actually, one more thing here to explain, something that we see over and over again. And so pullbacks are part of the game, but sometimes a pullback, you can see this area here. If I draw a little area around this, let me find if I can see the proper trading tool for this. Nope, 1 second. Where do we have our rectangle? Call out, no, 1 second. Let's be patient. Here, this area here. This is a full-blown correction. You see this price went up and then we had a nice retracement and we stayed in the sideways market for quite some time. And this can happen after a strong uptrend. Price will take a break, trend will take a break and consolidates for quite some time in a sideways market. I do see some signs of this, at least a little bit, in this area here as well. So we went all the way up here and now we had a deep correction and we slowed down. Bars became slower and smaller. And, I would not be surprised for this one here if we are consolidating for quite some time in this area before this overarching trend continues. So because of this reason, I'm going to, skip this one. I think this at least looks to me that we are, going into a sideways consolidation, which may last for quite some time. All right. What else do we have? One more thing I wanted to do. Let me do one quick thing because this is a setup which I found this morning. This one here. I'm going to also select long break retrace. And I believe not this one. Was it this one? Because I found a very interesting stock early on today. Yes, this one. Look what happened here. And this is a stock where almost everything comes together. Venom, Viper Energy LP. All right. So what do we have here? And I mean, this already skips ahead a little bit, but this is a beautiful setup. Why? Well, for various reasons. A level 4 pullback. This stock is bullish for almost a full year now. And we just retraced back to this broken resistance level. So resistance used to be between 48 and 50. We broke above it. What day was that? On October 4th this year. Went initially up, retraced, went up again, retraced, and now this can be a prime opportunity to re-enter long into this trend trade. To me, a beautiful setup, and I'm definitely going to add this one to our watch list of today. Done. All right. And we also have this one, Console Energy. A bit of a similar case. I discussed this one this morning with the German crowd as well. Here, after the election, a huge gap up. We gapped above this resistance level. And since then, we have retraced now quite violently. Actually, on Friday was a very bearish day for Console Energy, all the way back to this broken resistance level, now acting as support. This, once again, can be an interesting opportunity to re-enter into this long trade, especially since here, actually, 4 things are coming together. Long-term uptrend since 896 days. Great. We are approaching a broken resistance, now acting as support. That's number 2. We are having a healthy pullback, level 4 pullback as per trend radar. And number 4, we are actually closing this gap, which happened after the election. So this gap is almost close. To me, an interesting opportunity to now enter into this long trade at a much better price, at around 115, perhaps if you wait this pullback to complete to 115. Your stop was just below here at perhaps 111, or maybe a bit lower. And then we're hoping that this bullish trend will continue its upwards move. So I'm also going to add this one to our watch list. All right, done. Perfect. All right. Already 3 stocks in our watch list to be considered later on. And Nicholas, before I continue with our next setup, are there any questions?
I think we're good to continue, Daniel. We just had a couple comments, I think 3 now, saying, oh, they would like or they'd love to see Volume IQ involved in the dashboard in the future.
Yeah, that's might be coming, but that's perhaps I'd say maybe at least 6 months out, perhaps even longer. That's going to be a big task to do. For now, we are happy to have Volume IQ, our brand new indicator for the native TradingView platform, which has been, by the way, guys, the feedback, a little detour. I know it's Saturday. We have a bit more time than usual. A little detour. So let's just, sorry, I need to say this 1 second. There we go. Volume IQ. Yeah, oh my, it has exceeded our expectations how much you guys like this indicator. Oh my God. Our release was on Wednesday, and since then, we have received numerous emails from clients saying, hey, Daniel, thank you so much. This was also my missing piece. I love this indicator. It's better than any volume profile that I've seen before. Comments like this. So thank you so much. It has been quite overwhelming, and this is also the reason and the only reason why I'm so behind in my email support, because I was trying to get back to everyone and make sure everybody is set up and so forth. So thank you guys for this. This has been quite humbling and a really rewarding experience this week. All right. Anyways, back to the setups of the week. I digress. All right. So now we talked about the healthy pullback. That's done. We found some interesting setups, and there are more. So if you have the dashboard, there are many more setups which are looking very interesting this week, which are having this healthy pullback setup. But now let's move on. The next setup, which I would like to discuss, is the bounce setup, another high reward and low risk setup. And the way this one works is as follows. Price is near a support level. We're going to consider the long bounces. Price is near a support level, and our anticipation is that price will bounce off this level towards the middle, in between support and resistance. And this is a high reward and low risk setup because we can put our stop loss just below the support area here. It's very nearby, especially if price goes all the way into the middle of the support area. It's going to be very nearby, and our reward potentially is very substantial. Yeah, it will outweigh for sure what we are risking. So let's see if we can find these setups using our dashboard. So once again, back to the dashboard. I'm going to clean up all the filters with this yellow button here. Go back to 4,922. And now I'm going to select in our Liquidity IQ column here, our long bounce setup. Long bounce means that we are currently trading near a support level. So I'm just going to randomly click on this one. And yes, this price here is trading near support. Yeah. And in fact, we can also see here that by this number here, we can see how long, for how many trading days we have been near the support area. So let me go to this one here. Applied Therapeutics. 6 trading days. You can see, oh, huge gap down. Oh boy. 6 trading days near support. If we count this out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since 6 days, we are trading near support. It doesn't have to be exactly inside the support zone. It's sufficient to be near this support area. And by the way, great example here, how significant these zones are. We had this huge gap down. I have no idea what happened. Maybe earnings, possibly earnings. Huge gap down, but where did the gap down to? All the way down to the support area, which the indicator identified how many days ago? All the way here. That's when the line starts. On October 23rd, 2023, this level was known. We get all the way down there. Pretty cool. All right, great. So this is why these levels are important, of course, but now let's try to find setups which are of interest for the week ahead. And also with the bounce setup, I like to combine it with our MA rush indicator. I would like to see a setup where we are trading near support, but we are also bullish, not bearish as per MA rush. So let's find this. So I'm going to search. We are already fitted for long bounce. That's good. We're down to 516 stocks and symbols. And now we're going to use MA rush to filter out all the stocks which are not bullish. So we're going to focus only on the bullish ones. Done. So now we're down to 109 symbols. Great. And once again, we are going to sort from highest to lowest for stocks which have been trending upwards for the longest time. So this one here, for example, tech. Let me see what's going on here. Tech has been, as we can see here, actually tech is quite sideways. This is a typical classic case where we had a big move up and now we've retraced a little bit. And let me just quickly see what's going on here in particular. Yeah, big move up, some consolidations along the way. And now it seems like to us, or to me at least, that we are once again in a consolidation phase. And one key thing, if we are consolidating, is that, hey, this may first of all take some time to resolve. The price may go up and down for quite some time. And these bounces, it's not unlikely that the bounce towards at least this level here, maybe not all the way to an historical high, but at least to some intermediate level are quite likely. So this could be an interesting idea to potentially go along this stock because we may bounce once again off this support level. But for me, not the ideal one because I like to see a bounce where we are not already in such a consolidation sideways phase. So let's skip this one. Next one. Canadian natural resources. All right. Similar scenario. Yeah, it's been trending up for a long time. In fact, the entire Canadian stock market is doing not too bad. This symbol has been respectful of these levels. Look at these beautiful bounces off these levels throughout. And now, once again, we are approaching this support level down here. And to me, this is a bit of I think, a more convincing case. First of all, there's other support levels all the way down here. That's quite a ways away. And here, perhaps, I believe it is maybe a bit more likely, at least my intuition tells me, that we're going to see a bounce to the upside. So I'm going to add this one to our watch list. All right. And perhaps another one here. Ooh, ICFI, this is like a falling knife, kind of. Yeah, huge breakdown after this historical high here. I believe we had seen this stock, I think the week before or maybe the other week, all the way down to this support level, and we're still trading in this support level. And I believe we even called this one out. Let me quickly look at my trade notes. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, on November 23rd, we called this one out. Where were we? Was this the right one? Or is this the wrong? This is the wrong screenshot. I think that might be a bug of the screenshots in our chart. So this is the wrong one. Don't be fooled by the screenshot. Let me just take this out. We said, hey, this stock is long-term bullish. We're seeing a deep correction, of course. And this has happened in the past. So we're looking for repetition. All right. Yeah, we can see here we had these deep corrections before. And also from, the stock hasn't recovered quite yet. We're still in the same area, but perhaps we're going to see some upside move of this stock in the days to come. And maybe just one more. Yes. Also, this one seems a bit like a sideways consolidation. I don't like the fact for this one here, even though it's been long-term bullish, it has broken this support here for previously. So this one didn't hold up that cleanly. So we may see a deeper move down to at least below the swing point here in this stock. And then we might consider going long. So maybe one more here. FRO frontline. Oh boy. Yeah, very deep correction. Let me just see what's going on here. And it seems to me that this one is trading. Where are we? Oh boy, this is a very deep correction. Yeah, I may shy away from this one. This is probably beyond any FIB level, even if we count this swing point to this one. What's the FIB retracement right now? It is below. Wow, it's at 78.6 and even lower. Yeah, I probably would shy away from this one too. This deep correction may as well result into a trend reversal. So this is a bit too steep for my taste. In any case, I think we did find some interesting symbols, which are currently in the bounce scenario. All right. In the interest of time, let's move on to the next setup. Nicholas, are there any questions right now?
Sorry, I was muted. I know we had one from Carlo. He wanted to know, can you filter based on the exchange? And I don't believe you can, but his second question was, can you filter by watch list? So maybe we can go over dynamic watch list.
Yeah.
This topic.
Yeah, so of course you can filter by exchange. You cannot filter right now. So that's not possible. And but there are some other filters that you can use. So you can definitely filter by asset class. That's possible. And if you're only interested in ETFs, for example, you can pick ETFs here or stocks, and you can select multiple of those. So that's possible. You can also create your own watch list. I've been populating my watch list here for these setups of the day, step by step. Let me just take this out. So here we have 4 stocks in there right now. So this is of course possible. And you can just select your custom watch list, and they will populate in your scanner here. What you can also do is to create what we call a dynamic watch list. And these are based on scan criteria, not individual stocks, but scan criteria. So if I go back to my end of day scanner and, for example, select, hey, I want to see stocks which are more than $25, which are just stocks which are currently bullish and maybe which have a level for pullback. These filters. And I can say, hey, create me a dynamic watch list based on these 4 criteria: asset class, price, bullish, and pullback. All right, so I'm going to go here to add dynamic watch list, and I can say bullish with pullback level 4, maybe. You give it a name as you like. You create, and once created, this watch list will then be available here directly in your watch list dropdown under the name that you've chosen for this watch list. So you click on it, and then this will load exactly onto the scanner. And the interesting thing here is that the symbols within that watch list, they will change. So new symbols will be added each day, and some symbols will be removed based on which stocks qualify or disqualify for the criteria selected. Any other questions, Nicholas?
I think we're all good to continue, Daniel. Thank you.
Perfect. All right.
Oh, actually, Daniel, my mistake. We do have one from Chris, and he had an earlier question. He was wondering what you mean when you generally say trend aligns, and then he asked, can you review what the multiple support red lines mean and how they differ? So I think he's referring to liquidity IQ support lines, which are red on the chart.
Let's solve that one. Both are fairly easy questions, but here you can see. If we make this a little bit bigger, perhaps. And let me put the background color to completely black to see this a little bit more clearly, and remove the grid lines. All right, so here, what can see? Yeah, we do have multiple red lines. So one is here, one is down here in this area, and one is down here. So yeah, these are support lines which are near price. That's what it means. So this one obviously didn't hold up. Price broke through it, and now we stopped nearish this second support level. And there's one more below this, which is this one down here. And these are, created based on historical price action, based on our algorithm, or the algorithm that Liquidity IQ, the indicator, uses. And it does a multi-time frame analysis to find these support levels, looks at swing lows in this case to find these support lines, and also what did volume do around these swing lows. And it puts all this information together into a glass ball, a magic glass ball, and comes up with these levels. And this simply just means, hey, these are multiple levels of support. Yeah, that's all this. And the same thing we have for our resistance level. Yeah, so there can be multiple resistance level which are relevant for current price action. Yeah, this is just how it works. I hope this clarifies it.
Thanks, Daniel.
All right, perfect. All right. So where were we? So let me go back to our slides, and let's talk about the next setup, the zone break setup. So support doesn't last forever. Resistance does not last forever. Eventually, these are broken. But these also can be opportunities for us, because once a level is broken, oftentimes we do see a nice follow through in the direction of the breakout. So support can be broken, we have a nice follow through, but also resistance can be broken to the upside, and we may see a nice follow through. So how can we scan for these setups? Back to the dashboard, back to status quo, all the symbols, and now let's choose with the liquidity IQ column here, our long break setup. And once done, we can see all the stocks and all the symbols which are currently trading above their resistance level. There's no other resistance level above it. We've broken resistance. And in theory, we have blue skies ahead to the upside. Nothing is stopping us. There's no other visible level ahead. And sometimes, These work beautifully. Let's see this one here. If I just go back a little bit, look here. What happened? We broke. I believe I didn't enable my zone break symbols. If we broke above resistance all the way down here, or back here, May 2nd, 2024, half a year ago. And look at this beautiful follow through. Another example here. German stock, Telekom, broke here, huge follow through. So that's the idea. That's what we are hoping for. But of course, stocks like this, this break happened too long ago. The move has passed and it's so far away now from this level. These are not so interesting for us for the week ahead. So let's try to find the ones where the break just recently happened. Okay, so what we can do is we can sort our column here from lowest to highest. What I mean by this number behind the long break label here can be sorted either from highest to lowest or from lowest to highest. And by doing so, we can now see the stocks which recently had a zone break. Recently meaning on Friday. So if I click on this one here, build a bear workshop. Look at this. We just had a zone break. Of course, price retraced almost immediately afterwards, but we had this zone break recently. Hyatt Hotels, zone break on the last bar. This one here, zone break on the last bar. So these are of more interest to us. Now, okay, that's great. But now let's also try to find a stock, and this is where trends lines may come in. I haven't actually tested this yet, but this is where it may come in. Let's also try to find a stock where the zone break happened and the break was relatively smooth. What do I mean by this? Let's go back to this one here. Here, this break was very violent. You can see it here. You know, bang, and then down here again. So it's quite a violent break. In fact, this was probably an earnings gap or something. I want to see a smooth break. How can we find this? So let's use our trends align column here. Trends align refers to trend radar. You can see it down here. These dots at the end. See these little dots here? That means that all our trends are aligned. So trend radar tracks a short-term, medium, and long-term trend, and something in between. If they are aligned, meaning that the short-term trend line is above the medium-term one, which is above the long-term one. They're sorted in that sense. Then a dot is printed. So this goes for an uptrend, but also for a downtrend. So let's only focus here on the ones where we do have such an alignment dot and where the alignment has happened for a long time. So let me just find a good one here. 1 second. So I'm going to actually do something really crazy. I'm going to select the current filter in addition to long break, meaning I only want to see the symbols where the setup happened currently with value 1. Okay. And now I sorted. Now I have no idea if this is any good. So we'll see. I have now sorted also our hits by the number of alignment dots in a row that we had. So this one here, for example, Red Corn LTD, whatever that is. Yeah, look at this. This to me is a kind of a smooth and easy break above this resistance level. Of course, we had several attempts here, but you can clearly see this trend is going up nice and smooth and, at a nice pace. And now since we've broken clear and closed, in fact, above this level, this could be a good sign. And this stock may as well potentially take off to the upside. I have no idea what happened in the past, but this seems to be an important level to break. There's one more level up here. I guess the stock was higher before, but this could be an interesting candidate to bet on the fact, hey, now that this line is broken, maybe you're going to revisit this resistance zone all the way here around 15. So I'm going to add this one just for the fun of it to our list of today. And the next candidate here was this one here, Eaton Vance Tax Fund. Yeah, similar story. If you go back here, we do see our nice zone break here. Also, quite smooth going upwards. We see our alignment dots right here. Yeah, all the trends have been aligned. The stock is grinding upwards. We like these slow grinds. These are good signs for healthy trends. It's a nice slow grind. We broke above resistance, and potentially this one also now is going to continue further in the upside direction. And one more, Hyatt Hotels Corp. Alignment dots since for 19 bars. You can see it here. Bullish for 1006 bars. And we just broke above this crucial level here. We had a bit of a retracement right afterwards. So I guess because many people book profit here. Let's see what happens on Monday. But for me, also a nice candidate for potentially entering long into this higher trade now that this, line in the sand, this strong resistance level here has been broken. So I'm going to add Hyatt also to our watch list. So I hope, Chris, this answers the question of what these alignment dots do as well. All right. And one more setup. I have to speed up a little bit. We're already at the 1 hour mark. The last setup of today is going to be our zone break retrace setup, which is the rarest of all setups. It's quite rare. You'll see once we filter for it, only a handful of stocks will survive that filter criteria. And it happens when resistance is broken, for example. It can also happen to the support case, but in this case, resistance was broken to the upside. Price initially goes up and then retraces down to the broken resistance level, which will now act as support. We know this. Yeah, resistance can become support when broken, or support can become resistance when broken. And exactly this we are seeing right here. And then, this could be a great opportunity to re-enter into this long trade at a much better price. So now this initial fake out is done. Markets like to fake us out. This fake out is done, and now the move is really taking off. At least that's the idea. So back to our dashboard, clear up all the filters, and we are now going to filter for the long break retrace setup. A complicated name, but something very beautiful. All right, we've done it. And let's look at some examples. See, we already looked at console energy. I'm going to skip this one, but let's look at this one here. IR. What do we see? Look at this. We broke above resistance, actually twice. If you zoom in a little bit, look at this. Broke above resistance, initially goes up, it goes down to the broken resistance level. Now up again, down to broken resistance. So this fake out may happen multiple times. But to me, an interesting opportunity right now to enter long into the symbol, perhaps at around level 100, 101. Stop us just below here, perhaps below this, just disable MA rush, below this candle here, this swing point. We're at 99.30 in the expectation that price is going to continue in the direction of the overarching trend. Yeah, and maybe one more. So I'm going to add this to our watch list, in fact. And here, Watsco Inc. Yeah, same thing. Exactly the same thing. Look at this. Zone break, initially retrace down to the zone. The classic. One more time up, retrace again. So these fake outs can happen multiple times. And this could be, once again, a great opportunity to enter into this long trade. We also have a healthy trend radar level 3 pullback. So interesting symbol for sure. So I'm going to add this one as well. We already discussed Viper. And perhaps one more, this one here, IYT. Look at this, guys. It's almost history is repeating itself. Up, down, and down again. And, the same thing. With this stock, we may see once again now after this retracement, a move to the upside direction. So this pattern, it's quite reliable. And this retracement down to this broken level is quite predictable. So I don't like to trade stocks short. So one could say, hey, after this initial move, why don't you just short the stock until it goes towards this level? Perhaps. I just don't like to do it personally. I like to go stay long with stocks and ETFs. All right. Okay. Any questions here, Nicholas, at this point?
We have a question here. Yes, Rob, and there's a couple questions too. Yes, we're going to send the recording out afterwards.
And Rob, one thing is also on this one, I just saw this, Nicholas. We do have a bootcamp recording as well. So Bob, or Rob, I should say, send me a quick note after this webinar. I'm going to show my email address in a second, that you are interested in the bootcamp. We'll send it to you. And in that bootcamp, we explain every single column of this dashboard in a very detailed manner. All right. Sorry, Nicholas. Go ahead.
Perfect. And from Scott, did you get the symbol JNUG, JNUG? Did you get it?
Oh no, I don't.
On the dashboard.
I don't. Not yet. I forgot. Thanks. I believe I saw that email from you, but because of our big launch of Volume IQ, I was preoccupied with that primarily, but that's on our list. And, we are planning to have 8,000 symbols by the end of the year. So that's coming. A huge update will be added to this dashboard. So that's in the works right now. We're making all kinds of changes to our cloud server. Because just to give you, since we have a bit of time today, this right now takes around 3 hours to process. Right now, these 5,000 symbols. 3 hours of our cloud server. So if you add another 3,000, you may think, hey, this is going to be like 5 hours. But that's almost too slow for us. I want this information to be available to you guys by at the latest 7 p.m. Because, that's when I guess you get home from work, you have some time perhaps to look at the markets. That's where I want this to be there. So we're redesigning everything while buying additional resources for the scanner. And this hopefully will be available as a Christmas surprise for everyone. Okay. Anything else, Nicholas?
That's all good questions. Sorry,
Perfect.
I was muted.
Okay, perfect. All right. So now we've seen quite a few interesting setups. Now let's go to our watch list here that we created. And let's go through these symbols one by one. So we have 8 stocks here. Let's just have a quick look of what we've seen. All right, I'm going to sort them by setup. So starting with long bounce. Yeah, on the long bounce side, nothing too exciting to me. I mean, these long bounces, it's not clean enough. Even though here the stock is respectful, the CNQ, Canadian Natural Resources, it's a bit too messy. A bit too much of a gamble to think, hey, this bounce is going to happen again. I'm going to stay on the sidelines for this one. I think there are nicer ones to trade for the week ahead. All right, long break retrace. Yes, this one is nice. I want to take only one long break retrace here. Let's see which one is better. So we have 4 long break retraces. I'm also for this one. I like what I see, but I don't like this big gap here. The big gap after the election. It's not a myth. Gaps tend to be filled. And if you actually do see a gap fill, this retracement may as well last all the way until down here, or perhaps even the support level. So let's also skip that one. Don't worry, we're going to find some. Let's go, Inc. Yes. So to me, it's cleaner. Even though we did have this gap here, but this gap now is far away. To me, that's an interesting one. We have this really nice deep retracement, a good level 3 pullback. Bullish for 467 trading days. You know what? I'm going to annotate this one as a potential setup for next week. So let's just enable our levels here. I'm just go down, target long and target short, enabled. So this looks good to me. So the stop at around 507, our target all the way near the historical high of 564. All right. So annotation. Go to my symbol here, and I'm going to dictate my annotation. And by the way, guys, for the German speakers now, if you select the German language in the dashboard, the dictation tool here will be listening for German and trying to transcribe that. So that's now also possible. All right, so let's dictate it here. So we're going to enter around, let's say 520. Yeah, limit entry at 520. Consider limit entry at 520 with stop loss at 507 and long target at 564. All right, little correction here, but this looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to also add our screenshot to it. And I hope this works. I hope it's not going to take us to Mueller Industries again. Let's have a quick look. WSO should now be added perfectly to this trade node. Nice. Perfect. All right, let's see what happens to this one when we come back next week. Viper Energy. Yes, this one I like too, a lot. Actually, probably even more than the other one. This is a beautiful uptrend. Look at this trend radar. It's not looking back. Only healthy pullbacks along the way. Now another healthy pullback, level 4 pullback. So also here, I'd say if you see a retracement to like 40 to 50, around 50, long entry if you stop at 47. And your target, I would say target a bit lower, maybe at 56, just below this all-time high. All right. Okay. Oops. Consistent uptrend. Consider a long entry at around 50. You stop at 47.81 and you target around 56. Oh, Yeah, this is my German accent. Target around 50, I said. I'm still trying to we're still trying to train the dictation tool to understand people better, but it's not too bad. Around 50. All right. Stop loss around 47.80 and target at, where is it? Around 56. All right. I'm also going to add the screenshot to this one here. Perfect. All right. Okay, that's done. Next, console energy. Yeah. It feels a little bit to me that this could be a falling knife that we're trying to catch here. Where things are just falling apart and trying to predict where it's going to stop. We did stop at this broken resistance level, not acting as support. But if we see the gap fill and see some early signs that, hey, this is really going to stop here, maybe see a green bar or something afterwards, then I would consider this. But for now, I would not. I want to see a bit of a deeper correction, this gap being filled here after the election, and then maybe signs that this trend will continue. So here we're going to stay on the sidelines. All right. Red coin. Yeah, this was our slow grind based on our alignment dots. So you can see it down here. A nice slow grind. We broke above our resistance level here, and the expectation could be that we're going to continue. The only thing I don't like is that we do have another resistance line up here, which can limit our upside. And I think we have a better choice. Let's look at Hyatt instead. Hyatt, we made all-time highs. You broke this massive level here. And, we can take a shot at this one. We just broke above it. We're going to put our stop just below this resistance level. If we are right, this can be a huge move upwards, a big reward to risk, but this is a risky trade. It's, this stock has been struggling with this level for quite some time. There is no guarantee the struggle is over. But if you want to take a shot, especially after a bit of a pullback here, yesterday's bar was bearish. Maybe it could be a great cheap opportunity to get into this long trade of Hyatt. So let's annotate this one. All right. This stock is making an all-time high at around 163. Consider going long at market levels with a stop loss just below resistance at 158.51. All right. Perfect. Good enough. This doesn't have to be grammatically perfect. It's just an annotation for me or for you if you do it. We're going to add our screenshot to it. We're going to see next week what will happen or what happened to this setup. All right. Done. And March and McLennan, what did we do here? Why did I pick this one? Let me just quickly see. Oh, for the pullback. Yes, this was the pullback. I like it. The question, of course, is how much more will we see of this pullback? Let me just quickly disable our zone breaks to make this a bit clearer. So here the question is, it's a very consistent stock. It's beautiful the way it goes up. Very smooth. We have this pullback here. So if you, I would be, as a conservative trader, consider entering right now at this level, but your stop loss would be all the way down here. I would imagine at this swing low here, or maybe this one here. So this would be a wide stop loss, but I have no problem seeing this stock to continue making higher highs in the near to medium term future. So let's scale into this one. So here, back to my notes, we're going to scale in with a smaller position size and a fairly wide stop loss at 214, just below this support zone. So here, new note for today. All right. This stock has a very consistent bullish uptrend. Consider scaling in at current price levels of 225, put your stop at 214 and your potential target at an all-time high at around 250. All right. I don't know why it always does. Oops. What happened? There we go. Why it always does. Oops. Why it always does these columns in the middle. I'm gonna. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? No, this is probably a bug here. I will fix it. Delete. All right. There we go. Okay. And we're also gonna add a screenshot to it. Perfect. Okay, guys, I think that's pretty much for our market review. Do we have some symbol requests, guys? What time is it? It's 1:15. A
Not
good
yet.
time
I
to look
know.
at some symbol requests. So, guys, if you have any symbols to look at, now would be the time. Let me see what Lisa is wondering. Yeah, any time for intra-day data on this dashboard? We don't know yet. It's gonna be very hard to get the scanning resources ready to scan for setups for 5,000 symbols or more on an intraday basis. Right now, this takes already hours for us to do. So an intraday would need to be very, very fast. So I'm not sure this is going to be feasible for us. All right, so some symbols. Sound. What is sound? Okay, let's see. Okay, sound hound. AI. Oh boy. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful setup here. Exactly what you expect from a nice zone break. We did break above resistance. Let me just quickly see what's in the past here for this stock. Yeah, so this resistance level but made by this high was broken. We'll see what's going to happen. I would not be surprised if we do see a bit of a retracement back to this broken resistance level in the next week. So let's keep an eye on that. Well, definitely interesting one. What a parabolic move. Wow. Okay. LVMH. Okay, LVMH. Oops, don't we have it? Let me just do it. LVMH. We don't have it. Yeah, unfortunately. So, Garrett, we're going to add this one probably soon. What else we have? NEM. Still bearish. Newport. Where is it? Newmont Mining, I meant. Yeah, I mean, where were we here? So, excuse me. So, yeah, we trended up and a big retracement, and now we are trading technically in a magnet zone, but it's which is a very near zone. So look at this one here, like in between support and resistance here. Yeah, it's hard to say. So this move is just so violent. I'm not sure what happened here. Big down move. It seems to me it's bottoming out a little bit. It tried to find support here. It held up again, down to the same level of support. I would not be surprised if we do see some minor move upwards, but this correction phase, this sideways, this might result into a longer sideways trend. So I would estimate price to remain in this area perhaps for until maybe February next year, just by speaking from experience, how long these sideways consolidations normally go on. So I mean, I'm not sure if it's bearish. So if this is just a consolidation, then in the long term, this could take off to the long side again. This bullish move here will continue. It's just a correction of what we've seen so far. AXP. All right. American Express. All right. Wow. Very bullish. Yeah. Here I would wait for any sign of a pullback. So a level 2, a level 3 pullback, and then considering entering long. Yeah. Very healthy uptrend for American Express. Palantir. All right. PLTR. Let's have a look. Wow. Yeah, I guess they are riding the Bitcoin wave to some degree. Hugely extended. So this is a classic example of a trend trade where I never would get into. It's too extended. I would wait for a pullback. Look for signs like this. If Palantir shows up on your pullback scan here, then it could be a great idea. But right now, overextended. All right. What is this one? IONQ. Do we have it? No, this is gonna be added. Vicky. Guild. All right, Guild, I believe we do have. Oops. There we go. All right. Yeah. Interesting one. Yeah. Look at this. My favorite setup. Zone break. Retrace down to the broken resistance level. Now taken off. This could be an interesting one. I would just be worried, not worried, but cautious of the fact that, hey, we may see some resistance here. So, I mean, consider entering here, but then maybe book some profits as price approaches this resistance level. But yeah, interesting. Definitely an interesting long trade, especially if we see price retrace a bit further down to maybe 89 or something like this in the next couple of weeks. SMCI. SMCI. Super microcomputer, yeah. And this one has been on our option alerts, I believe, quite a few times. Not sure if we put out strangles or outright calls. We switched to bearish back in September, and yeah, I think to me, just looking here, yeah, this seems to be a deep correction of this huge move upwards. Not sure where I would even put my fib level here, but that's definitely a very deep correction after such a parabolic move. Let's see what happens. So I would be cautious to go short this level. To me, this is just a very deep correction of this bullish move. Who knows? Rush is bearish, so we may see some bounce off this bearish level. But personally, I would not take a bearish trade on this one. I would wait perhaps until it goes down to some sort of support level and then enter potentially long into this setup. All right. Okay. Good. Well, thank you so much, guys, for these symbols. Lots of interaction today, which was awesome. And quick reminder, as I go back to my slides, that you can get our awesome ebook for free simply by going to tradingindicators.com/power of three. If you don't have our awesome dashboard yet, check it out at tradingindicators.com/view. This is also, by the way, where we will post the recording of this webinar. So later on today, probably around, I'd say 3 or 4 p.m., you will find the recording under this link, so tradingindicators.com/view. And of course, if you have not watched the recording of our brand new indicator, Volume IQ, yet, check it out at tradingindicators.com/volume. So this should be watch at this URL. You can watch the replay. I mean, we're still so excited and just recovering from all the action we've seen after we have released this indicator. And look how beautiful it looks. So great indicator. Niklas, do you want to say one more word about this indicator real quick? I know you've been live trading it for weeks now. Did you take any trades yesterday with
Yeah,
it?
I did. Yeah, I had a bunch of. Yesterday was actually the best day of the week. We had a really nice bunch of trades, all using Volume IQ, and we're going to cover those in the Lunch and Learn. And if you haven't seen it, I do recommend watching that recording at /volume. And it's good to watch, even if you don't, you're not getting the indicator, you're still going to learn something about volume profile trading.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great. And one last thing, guys, I'll be on not tomorrow, on Monday in 2 days from now, December 9, at 2 p.m. The conference starts at 10 a.m. at the Metastock conference. So some great speakers there. Registration is completely free. Simply go to tradingindicators.com/metastock to register for it. It's a great event. All right. And Carlo, do we have any specials? Yes. Go to Volume IQ. This is on super special right now, where we are offering it at half price as a special early release pricing. So this is by far our best special right now, which is 50% off. All right. Perfect, guys. With that, I thank you so much for joining us once again here on a Saturday afternoon at our live scanning session. It's been fun. I am already excited what's going to happen with Bitcoin next week. With the SPY, we're going to see higher highs even further. Is this bullish uptrend going to continue? So lots of exciting things to see. And of course, we're going to keep an eye on the setups that we have found this week to see what's going to happen with these ones. So yeah, Carlo, send me an email with this. I cannot comment on all these specials that we have, but we do have also a special on Liquidity IQ and Rush as a combo. So send me an email afterwards and I will get back to you. Great, guys. And if there was a question, by the way, that we have missed, you can always reach out to us via our homepage, tradingindicators.com. Go to the main menu, click on contact, and there will be a contact form. Put your question there, and we will get back to all your questions as soon as we can. And they go straight to my inbox, by the way. And this is why I've been so busy. And Carla, my email address is this one here. It's info@tradingindicators.com. But you can also just do it through the contact form. Both will work. So Carla, I sent you the email address in the Q&A box. Okay, guys, with that, enjoy your weekend. I'm going to recover now for my 2 webinars today, and I'll see you all on Monday at the Metastock conference. Bye, guys. Thanks, Niklas, for looking out for the questions. Bye, guys.